this week, I really want to talk about something crazy that Andrew and I did. So, vaccines aren't really big in my family just because there is a lot of controversy with the past and everything going on with how medical professionals have historically treated Black people. So there was definitely some hesitancy from me on getting the vaccine, but I didn't want to be one-sided. I didn't want to look at it just from this side as though nothing had changed from back then to now. So that's why I decided to look into it, and I also just decided to ask my ancestors, like, if this is for us, then let us get it. But if it's not, we'll wait, you know? So I'm very thankful that luckily we were able to get vaccinated and everything worked out fine and we're doing all right. But definitely, you know, if you're thinking about getting the vaccine or you're thinking about just not getting the vaccine, just weigh both options equally. And if it makes sense for you, do it. So Andrew and I decided to go ahead and get the COVID-19 vaccine. I hate shots. Yeah. Let's start from the beginning. What vaccine did we get? We got Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which is just a single dose vaccine. And we got that just because the place that we registered with said that that was going to be the vaccine that they were getting. So instead of getting off that waiting list and going to another one, we just decided to go ahead and get that one. How much did the vaccine cost? So the vaccine is actually free. I believe it's free for everybody. Look that up. Where did you get it? So we got our vaccine in our neighborhood supermarket, so just like 2 blocks from our house. The grocery store that we always shop at anyway was doing it, and so we decided to get on the waiting list. Well, actually Andrew put us on the waiting list, and then they just gave us a call when they had the doses, and we headed in and we got our shots. So ours was at a grocery store, like I said. So when we walked in, they already had like a designated section. In ours, it was in like the cafe area where you sit and eat if you buy from one of the shops in there. So you go over there, you fill out this paperwork, and then you get your shot. So on this paperwork, it asks for your first, last, and middle name, initial, all that good stuff. It also asks you for a form of identification, so like your driver's license number or your social security number, something like that. I'm assuming so that they can go ahead and put you in the registry as someone who's been vaccinated. So once you fill that out, then at the bottom you have to sign. Ours said that it could be performed by a medical assistant or an actual practicing doctor. After that, it was between me and Andrew going first, and I hate shots. I hate shots. I hate shots. So I'm over there like low-key hyperventilating. And so Andrew's like, do you want to go first? And I was like, he was like, yeah, you're just going to go first. So I go over there. It's basic stuff because you have to be COVID distance. We were kind of far apart while she was getting everything ready, all her stuff together. I just tried to look out the window the whole time so that I couldn't see what was going on. But she did wipe my arm. I got it in my left arm because if you are right hand dominant, you don't want to be, you know, having pain in the arm that you use the most. She went ahead and put the alcohol in there and then stabbed me. And I'm looking out the window the whole time and I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. This isn't that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Oh my gosh. By the time I was like, okay, that hurts, that's when she's pulling the needle out. It was about like probably like a 4-second shot. And you can feel it going in your arm. So when she's pushing it in, that's part of what makes it feel so weird. Like you can feel this cold going into your arm and like slowly seeping down your whole arm, down to your fingers. That's how it was for me. And then by the time I got up from that chair and walked back over to where I was sitting, which was maybe 10 steps at most, my arm was completely like dead. Like I was just dead arming it. It did not feel good at all. And so then I'm sitting over there and I'm like, goodness, this still does not feel good. It was not an easy shot to take. But watching Andrew took it like a champ. He was talking to the doctor the whole time versus me staring out the window. So He said that it did hurt though. The shot hurt more than a normal shot, and that he as well could feel it going down his arm, but it didn't dead arm him until we had been walking around for a little while, because once you get the shot, at least the shot that we had, they want you to stay in the area for about 15 minutes just to make sure that you're not experiencing any symptoms that are really bad. That way they can treat you right there instead of you thinking you're okay and driving home and experiencing these symptoms. So they definitely recommend you to wait 15 minutes after you get your shot to stay there. So we had to stay in the parking garage though, because the store was so cold, I was freezing. So we just sat in the car with the heat on for about 20 minutes just to make sure we were good before heading home, and we were fine. So for the rest of that day, we luckily had the day off. I definitely recommend, if you can time it with a day off, it's nice, but if not, just prepare. So we actually ended up going out and doing some shopping, and then we were out for a good 5 hours. So we were able to get stuff done. Our arms were still sore, but it wasn't as bad. Like, I wasn't dead arming it anymore. Like, I can move my arm, but like to do obviously things like this, you know, you were getting that kind of pain in that arm. So as long as you're just doing this sort of thing, you're fine. That's why I'm saying, if you do have to go to work with the same day that you get the shot, it might not be that bad depending on how your body reacts to it. But then after about, I think 5-6 hours of us being out, we got home and we were exhausted. So that is something to keep in mind. We were literally exhausted. The sun was still up and we went to bed, but we were also freezing. For some reason, we were both freezing, and usually I'm cold, so that's nothing unusual, but Andrew was cold and he is never cold. So that was really weird. We had a heated blanket, a normal comforter, and also a heater on, and we were still cold. So we decided to go ahead and just head to bed, and we had the whole setup in there. We turned off the heater for the night. We were still freezing through the night. Andrew woke up, and then he had flipped, so now he was just burning up, and I was still freezing. So we're having to like accommodate both temperatures in the same room. Then the next morning, we were definitely just feeling like exhausted, like arm just tired, you know, feeling extremely fatigued still. Like, we got a decent night's sleep, but not as good as we would have hoped, and we slept for more than 12 hours. So that was a lot going into the second day, but our arm was getting better towards the end of the day. I took 1 Advil that day, and it did minimize the pain for me. With Johnson & Johnson, our doctor did tell us that we were able to take like Advil and pain relievers and things like that, which is good. So after taking that on the second day, then we were fine to like move around and use our arms as we needed to. By the third day, we had no symptoms other than it's still kind of sore. Not like bad, like if someone bumped into you, it's not like, you know, but it's not back up to how, you know, this arm feels. So today it is 4 days since I got the shot. I can still feel it, but it's not nearly as bad, but I can definitely still feel the soreness where it was injected without even having to look. I know where it was injected. So that's something to keep in mind. But the first day into that second morning was just horrible for us. So that's something to keep in mind if you're thinking about getting this shot or a shot. I believe with the 2-dose shots, a lot of people that I know personally say that the second injection is worse for them, but I don't know. My overall take on the vaccine is, if you think you should take it, you should take it. I wouldn't take us having those negative side effects in the beginning as an overall bad on taking the vaccine, because in my opinion, it could have been a lot worse, you know? At least it was just very mild. We were just cold, you know? But that's our experience on the vaccine. I am very glad we are vaccinated, especially because we can travel and I'm ready to go. Hey guys, thanks for watching Daisha Did It. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys want to follow my Instagram, I'll link it in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.